Welcome back, Audrey from chica+co. So, guess what's exploding in dog food land? Lightly cooked whole food formulas, up 29 to 30% year on year for the past 5 years. This is shaking up big kibble. Today I'm diving into Prime's 100 new lightly cooked meals, fresh in Australia and available in the States as well. Stick around. Will I feed it to my dogs? Spoiler, maybe. Okay, today I'm reviewing 3 of the Prime 100 SPD slow-cooked fresh formulas, these guys here. Chicken and brown rice, turkey and flaxseed, and kangaroo and pumpkin. Prime 100 is an Australian-owned and made company. They also ship to America, so for all my American friends, check this company out. It's known for quality and transparency here in Australia. Interested to know how much this niche style of food was worth last year in Australia alone? $250 million. That's in comparison to 100% raw formulas, and they came in at $125 million. And traditional kibble came in at a whopping $1.75 billion. I'm looking forward to 5 years' time to see those numbers flip and the kibble gets bumped to the back of the bus. Okie dokie. First up is the slow-cooked chicken and brown rice formula. These Tetra Packs, sold individually, are made with 71% plant-based materials, cutting climate impact 6 times versus cans, according to their website. That's an awesome move. I love it. At 354 grams, they're small, so probably won't suit larger dogs. When I say small, generally you should be feeding your adult dog around 2 to 3% of their current body weight with this style of food. Our 5 kilo dashies, for example, are eating around 100 to 150 grams of food per day. I checked their feeding guide on their website, and it says their recommended quantity per 5 kilos of body weight is 190 grams for this particular recipe. That's quite a lot of food in comparison to 100 to 150 grams of quality raw. It's got me thinking a little bit. Is it bioavailable? Don't know. There's a flag right there for me. If you have to feed more of something, it generally means nutritionally it might not be all that great or bioavailable. Okay, so flipping the box, I can see 9% protein, fat comes in at 7% and 3% crude fibre. That's pretty high fibre, considering fibre used in pet foods are generally cellulose, which is actually bamboo fibre in most cases. And to their credit, they have actually listed bamboo fibre. Insoluble fibre is an essential prebiotic, my apologies, so good for digestive health. It's actually essential for digestive gut health. But it's a super cheap filler if used in excess. And then there's 4.4 grams per 1,000 grams of calcium. This tells me that the calcium is most definitely not from bone matter, as in whole bones. It's been isolated from those bones, and all the other minerals that would have been found in that entire bone matter are not there. So it would be synthetic calcium carbonate. So my guess, no real bone matter, which is a bit of a bummer. Hey, if you're finding my reviews of foods or any of my other topics that I'm covering, please like and subscribe. It really helps our channel. If you've got any other thoughts on any other foods you'd like me to review, whack it in the comments below and I'll be really happy to do so. Usually the first thing I look for is how high the protein percentages are on these types of products. I'll be interested to see what the ingredients are to see if this 9% protein is animal or plant-based, and 9% is not that high. Usually I like to see anything from 10 to 20% upwards on these wet food products. If you look at a bag of kibble, it may say 20% protein, but it's calculated on a different matter basis. It's a dry matter basis. And this is wet. It's a totally different formula. I won't go into that today. It's a totally different conversation. Okay, so 7% fat is pretty low. A good safe range is around that 10% range for most healthy dogs. And the ingredients are in order of most to least. Australian chicken, yay! Brown rice, boo. Bamboo fibre, we've already talked about that. Functional oils, that's good. Flaxseed and algae oil, that's very good. Some salt, no problems there. Vitamins and minerals, chicory root extract, and some more synthetic additives. Well, what do you know? Bamboo fibre is third on the list, and I can see why the crude fibre is so high. There are 3 types of fibre in this mix: the bamboo, the husks from the brown rice, and the chicory root. They are advertising this as a functional protein diet with the benefits listed as bone strength, digestion, and GI health. I can see that the insoluble fibre is so high as they've made this mix specifically targeting digestive issues. No problems there whatsoever. But there are no organ meats listed in this. Obviously, all of those nutrients have been replaced with the standard vitamin and mineral synthetic mix, which is actually way cheaper to produce than actually including real offal. The ingredients all look pretty good except for the bloody brown rice. I've done a lot of videos on why rice isn't great for dogs, and they're all linked below. Considering that rice is the second on the list, would I recommend this one? No, probably not. And the price comes in at $5.99, so $6 in Australia. That's a pretty pricey $18 per kilo. That's comparable, if not more expensive, than a premium raw mix without any added rice. So, out of a possible score of 50, I give this one a passable 31. Okie dokie. Next up is the turkey and flaxseed mix. This one is designed to support skin and coat, joints and heart health, and is good for dogs with food intolerances or food aversion. That is buzzwords for. They're just picky eaters. First up, the guaranteed analysis is crude protein 9%. Again, crude fat 6%, crude fibre 2%, and calcium 5.7 grams per 1,000 grams of the product. Refer to column A. 9% protein is not very high. It's not terrible by any means in comparison to, say, kibble. At the very least, it's from turkey meat. It's what they've stated. And it's not turkey meal or digest, which is a winner in my opinion. That's the basis of what most kibble proteins are formed from. Fat is 6%. It's still very low in my opinion, and the fibre is quite high at 2%. I wonder if the good old bamboo fibre makes an appearance in this mix as well. So the ingredients are listed from most to least as usual. Australian turkey, yay! Sweet potato, yay! Quinoa, bamboo fibre, oh hello my old friend. Vitamins and minerals, salt, parsley, flaxseed, chicory root extract, and True Immune with a little registered symbol at the end of that. I'll talk about that in a minute. Postbiotics, okay. So after the turkey and sweet potato comes a quinoa, and there's the plant-based protein booster, bringing the total up to 9%. And it's considered to be a grain. Grains are not functional foods for canines as they can't really digest them that well. They're not bioavailable. And there's bamboo, my old friend, a completely insoluble fibre source. Great for pandas, probably not the best for dogs, but it does serve its purpose. And the other insoluble fibre is the chicory root listed. Sweet potato is fine for doggos, but I would have preferred to see it further down the list. Boy, there's a lot of it in this recipe. Now, circling back, I'd like to mention that True Immune, a registered postbiotic listed in both ingredient lists that we've already talked about. I had to do a little bit of research, in fact a lot, into this, as it's a name that's been made up and registered to this particular company. It is really a cool ingredient. I've never seen it before in this form. It turns out it's created through a natural fermentation process using yeasts. But True Immune, registered, is not a probiotic with live organisms like yeast is, but it's a postbiotic. So it's all about boosting a pet's gut and immune health. Basically, it's shelf stable. So it's heat resistant, cousin to brewer's yeast, which is very good for both dogs and humans. So this is kind of cool. So the price is higher than the chicken formula, coming in at $6.50 per 354 gram pack. And whoa, I had to double check the suggested feeding guide per 5 kilos of body weight. The website states 330 grams per day that needs to be fed. That's almost that entire box just for one of my dogs. And so much more food than the recommended 2 to 3% of adult body weight feeding formula for raw food. Again, refer back to column A. If you have to feed that much food to meet AFCO's minimal nutritional guidelines, you've got to question the bioavailability of this particular mix. Less quality means more quantity. So score out of a possible 50 for this guy, 30. And last but not least, it's the kangaroo and pumpkin formula. For all those Americans out there, this is exactly what a novel protein would mean for your doggos with chronic sensitivities. And yes, you can also buy it in the States, which I've already mentioned. Analysis panel reads crude protein 10%, crude fat 1.5%. Geez, that's low. Crude fibre 3% and calcium 1.67 grams per 1,000 grams of food. Whoa, that's low as well. But as you may know, the AFCO guidelines allow for pet foods to feed and allow your pets to survive. They certainly are very low on the optimal bioavailability scale. By law, if you're selling a complete and balanced food, it has to meet these incredibly low standards. 1.5% fat content may be good for those dogs suffering from a chronic pancreatic attack, but I would not recommend it for healthy dogs. Fat equals fuel. Your dogs need fat. Okay, for this one, the ingredients are Australian kangaroo, yay, pumpkin, yay, quinoa, not so yay, bamboo fibre, hello, my friend, vitamins and minerals, functional oils, sunflower, flaxseed and algae again, chicory root extract, Trumune, which again is the postbiotic, and some other additives. Again, second ingredient is a vegetable, albeit a good one, pumpkin, and the third one is quinoa. That's a grain that's high in protein. It's cheaper to use a high protein grain than whole meat to boost those numbers. And in this case, it's 10% protein. Okay, here's a fun thing. Fun fact, roux is an incredibly high source of protein already, so much more so than beef or turkey or chicken. I'm guessing actually there's less roux in this mix because you need less to get those percentages up. Something to think about there. Insoluble fibre in the form of bamboo again, chicory root and psyllium husks. There's your 3% in the box. That's really high. And the feeding guidelines, according to their website, are basically feed a hell of a lot. 300 grams per 5 kilos of body weight. Boy, that cost jumps up right here. And at $6.99, that's $7 per 354 grams. That's almost $21 a kilo. Well into the super premium raw mix, human grade fillet steak world. To give you an idea, a 15-kilo dog would need 3 of these little packs at $7 a pop, making dinner, just one meal, an eye-watering $21 per day. This one's got a really low scorecard, 27 out of 50, mostly just due to the price tag. Now, would I feed these products to my dogs? Yes, over dry food, kibble, hands down. But for the price, hell no. I can make up a balanced mix for myself for far less. There's a couple of links below to other cost-saving recipes. You'll see for just over $3 a day, I can feed one of my 5-kilo dachshunds great quality, bioavailable, human-grade food. That is, the food that they can fully digest and the ingredients are getting the best bang for my buck versus $6.99 for the turkey or roux mixes. I'm loving the options out there now over the kibble diets. So Prime 100, keep up the good work. Just bring down those bloody prices, please, and get rid of the rice and quinoa.